How's everyone doing? Isn't it a great afternoon to be in Waukesha County? So I only got a few minutes. I'm going to lay the groundwork for where we think we're going to be 2050, kind of demographically, and then talk a little bit about the government and where I think the government's going to be in 2050. So as we start or look out into 2050, I'll be finishing up my 8th term as county executive. No, Sean, I won't. But you can see up here, this is Waukesha County in a snapshot this year, right now. And you can see population is about 410,000. Our valuation is about $84 billion. The one I want you to really look at is the bottom. Waukesha County today, we're the 3rd most populous county, 1st in median household income, 2nd highest per capita, 3rd highest when equalized property tax base, and we have the 2nd lowest tax rate of any county. We're actually the lowest without a sales tax. So as we look out into 2050 and we take a conservative approach towards the numbers, we think the population is going to be about 480 to 500,000, right in that ballpark. Households are going to jump from about 167,000 households to 195 in the new construction, and Matt's going to talk a little bit about the challenges that we're going to have trying to reach that number right now. And our employment numbers, you can see 326,000 up to about 367,000. One of the things as we look at it is the population. And if you look at this, there's lots of pretty red on here. The one thing I want you to look at is all the way over to the right, 65 and over population. Everything else we think is going to stay about the same, except our 65 and over population is going to skyrocket. We're going to see the baby boomers, the last of the baby boomers, start hitting 65 in about 2030. And so we think that's going to be an area of challenge as we move forward in a number of different ways. And you're going to hear about it today, talking about our medical side, talk about housing that we have for that generation. And it's one that we have to look at because the numbers you're seeing right here, we're not having the natural population replenishment like we typically have. We're not having as many families anymore. Currently, right now in Waukesha County, the average household is about 2.4 people, adults. In rental property, it's about 1.7. Those are down from 10 years ago significantly. I think the household was around 2.7, 2.8, and it's down to 2.4. We're going to see that continue to drop. Now, Sean didn't let me put it in, but if we added in dogs, then we're right back up there, because I just heard it to conversations today. They said, you should be grateful that I have like 3 fur babies, Mom and Dad, for you. Those are your grandkids. But this is going to be our challenge as we move forward, is looking at that population. So we're going to continue to work with the counties around us to look at how we can bring more people in, especially for the workforce. Right now, about 20% of our workforce enter Waukesha County every day from different counties. And we're going to see that number continue to grow. So part of what we're going to see with the population is infrastructure and usage. So this number is the one that Matt's been waiting for me, is where we think our acreage is going to be utilized right now and in 2050. And if you look, not too much of a change occurs, especially in the residential side. About 25% of the acreage will be residential. Look at the bottom. Total acreage in Waukesha County is 370,000 acres. Of that, there's about 154,000 that's not usable. It's roads, it's lakes, it's creeks, it's watershed areas. So we're looking at that 200,000+ acreage that we can utilize. If you look at these numbers, we're about halfway through. The challenge for us is as we're looking at that acreage, it becomes the difficult building acres. It's not serviced by water and sewer. It's going to need septic, it's going to need well. If we're going to hit the marks that we're looking at for our households, we're going to have to really consider what densities we're comfortable with in the municipalities, especially those that are served by water and sewer, to get to these numbers. So as I look out 2050, when I look at government, I still think Waukesha County is going to be one of the tax leaders. We're going to be the lowest tax county in the state. We continue to strive. I've got a great team at the county that works every single day to stretch every dollar that we have. I wouldn't be surprised to see out of the 37 municipalities, some of the smaller municipalities looking at merging because of financial burdens. Consolidating the fire and EMS and law enforcement. When you think back in 2014, we had 28 fire districts, so we had some mergers already. This year we have 20. And we're starting to see progression again of where can we merge, because each municipality can't maintain the level of services they need. They've got to figure out those collaborations, so we'll see more of it. And then the big one for us that we're looking at in the infrastructure side is the road systems. When you look at 2050, my hopeful anticipation is I-94 will be 3 lanes all the way out to Johnson Creek. And this is the one where everybody's going to groan. Probably 164 is going to be 4 lanes all the way to at least Q, if not farther north, maybe up to 60, sorry. But we're going to need those transportation hubs because we're going to be looking at bringing more people in on a workforce day than we have residing here. So those are the challenges that we're facing. Thanks much.